How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is Indeed Gaming here. I am in fact Mr. Indeed, and welcome to my channel. Please do like, share, and comment on this video, and we are gonna get right into it. Now, this video here is gonna be talking a little bit about balancing for honor, and something that I feel like people don't really talk about that much. I understand certain sentiments that people have about, don't nerf really strong characters, just buff really weak characters. I agree with that for the most part, but unfortunately, the first point that I'm going to make in this video is going to go against that to a degree. Obviously, I think it's fair, but I'm biased because it's my opinion, apparently. I mean, not apparently, obviously. So I'm curious to see what the community thinks. Let me know in the comment section below, please. So I'm gonna break this video down into points. I'm gonna try not to ramble too long because I know people don't really like super long videos. So, point one, characters like Warden, Vortiger, Centurion, Hitokiri, characters that have chargeable, feightable bashes. I'm not trying to take away the fact that they can charge them. I'm not even completely trying to take away the fact that they can feint them. What I am trying to take away though is that if you get to level 3 charge, you cannot feint your bash. In my opinion, that's far too powerful of a mechanic for other characters not to have something that's equally as powerful, and most characters don't. And I think that that's a fair choice, in my opinion, a fair mechanic to nerf, just because it keeps with what a mix-up, in my opinion, is supposed to be. If your opponent guesses right, then they get to punish you. If they guess wrong, then you punish them. Example, if I am playing with Warden, I go into my shoulder bash. I dash forward, go into my shoulder bash. If my opponent then thinks that I am going to do a level 1 bash, he's going to dodge instantly. But if he dodges instantly and I do a level 3 bash, now he's getting hit with heavy. Flip side, if he thinks that I'm going to do a level 3 bash and instead I do a level 1 bash, if he thinks I'm doing a level 3 bash, more than likely he's going to stand there and wait for me to get to level 3, then he's going to dodge. But in the way the game is now, you can just feint it. Like, you may guess right that I'm going to do level 3, but then I can just feint it and we're back to square one. I don't think that's how a mix-up's supposed to be. My opponent guessed correctly. When I get to level 3, I have to let that thing go, and he needs to be able to punish me for it. Period. That's what mix-ups, in my opinion, should be. I have a mix-up. I've put you into a mix-up. You are now in a guessing game. When you win that guessing game, you should be rewarded. If you're waiting for my level 3 bash and I do a level 1, you're probably getting hit. If you're waiting for, or if you're expecting a level 1 bash and I do a level 3, you're probably getting hit with that heavy because you dodged. And you're not going to have enough time to get away unless you roll. And if you roll, then I don't know. I mean, like, I get it, but I personally don't play that way. I think it's kind of a bitch way to play, honestly. But that's the one thing that, even though, like I said, I agree with don't nerf powerful characters, make weak characters stronger, that is the one thing that I would disagree on. And I would nerf it. I would nerf that strong mechanic. The next thing that I would, next point, number 2. Characters that have bashes that guarantee them damage. Not a light, not a heavy, damage. If your character has a bash that guarantees you damage, if you miss it, you should be able to be guard broken, or at least lighted. Even though every character doesn't have a dodge light, so probably guard broken. So when I say things like that, I'm looking at characters like Vortigern. If you dodge Vortigern like really early, or you dodge Warlord early, you can get the guard break. But for the most part, you can't. For the most part, you can't even get a dodging light from characters like Warlord. Warlord too, I believe, but Vortigern, if he misses that bash. That should not be the case. If your character has a bash that guarantees them damage and you miss it, you should be guard broken for it, period. Now, if they think that perhaps that's a too powerful punish for something that may only guarantee you a light, I could see the argument for it. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with it. And I may not necessarily agree with it just because I'm so used to it, to be fair. But if that's how they feel and they wanted to, try to mitigate some damage, or, well, they could go the very, very long route and change what guard break punishes are to give each character like a special animation for a guard break heavy or a guard break light that's special. It's like a special animation. It can still guarantee you an execution, but it doesn't do as much damage. I mean, that would be the super long way to do that, but I don't know. That might just be too much. I'm rambling. Never mind. Stop. Shut up. Anyway, I think if you miss the bash, you should be guard broken, or you should be guard break punishable, period. Obviously I went to characters like Vortigern, but even characters like Valkyrie. Now, if you played the game for as long as I have, or really, I guess you wouldn't have had to have played the game for as long as I have, because I think it was still there in like year 2. Anyway, if you missed the sweep, you were able to be guard broken. You were also able to be guard broken by somebody who was out of stamina, which is ridiculously slow. Basically, her recovery from the sweep was like the equivalent of the recovery of Shigoki's trying to do the Demon's Embrace. If you don't want her to be able to be guard broken from someone out of stamina, that's fair. But should she be able to be guard broken if she misses it? 100%. It's a bash that guarantees not a light. It guarantees a heavy. A lot of the times that she guard break cancels you when she misses it, she's not even done standing up yet. If your animation's not even finished yet, you shouldn't be able to defend yourself in this game, period. So I would motion personally that any character that has a bash that guarantees damage, it's punishable by a guard break, period. Doesn't matter who it is. I don't care. It doesn't need to be early dodged or anything like that. If you miss it, you are now being guard break punished. The only time that I would make an exception on that is for characters, honestly, like Valkyrie, but also Nabushi, who obviously, if she misses her kick, she can throw a light or a heavy afterwards. Now, obviously, if she throws heavy, she can still be guard broken, I believe. Valkyrie the same, but if they throw the light, they can't be guard broken. But the point on that is that, okay, you've missed that bash, but we know that a possibly extremely easy light to be parried is coming afterwards, or you can throw that heavy, which in case if I'm going for a light parry timing, I've now fucked up. Same thing with Kensei. If Kensei misses his bash, he can do a light right afterwards, but that light is ridiculously easy to parry. Same thing with Tiandi. If he misses the palm strike, you know a top light could be coming, but he could also do the dash forward heavy, which in case if you went for a light parry, you done fucked up and now you're about to get hit with a heavy. Those are the only times that I would make an exception for that type of thing, but in general, if you miss a bash and you don't do anything afterwards, you can't do anything back afterwards, you should be able to be guard broken and punished for it, period. Now, the last point that I want to make in this video, just so it's not too long, is just to kind of clarify. I don't want every character to have the same thing. I think every character in this game to be viable needs to have a healthy amount of things that make characters viable. So, do they maybe need unblockables? Yes. Do they maybe need undodgeables? Yes. Do they maybe need bash? Yes. But they don't have to have all of these things. And the way that they can get to these things may be different. Like for some characters, bashes aren't as useful as they are for others. For some characters, their bashes don't work the same. For some characters, their unblockables don't work the same. It's like, so I just think that we need to get to a point where every character has a healthy amount of all the same mechanics, because let's be real. If your character is going to be unviable, they have to have some of them. If they put a character in the game that didn't have undodgeables, uninterruptible stance, unblockables, or a bash, that unless that character was throwing out attacks at 100 milliseconds, that character would be useless for the most part. So I would just want to clarify that I don't want every character to have the same thing. The characters just need to have a healthy amount of things that make characters viable. I mean, Nobushi doesn't have any unblockables. She's still a viable character in duels. PK doesn't have everything. She doesn't have bashes and stuff like that. She's still a viable character. It's like, so I think that that's what we need to move more towards, so that we're not in a situation where, every time you queue up for duels, you're fighting the same people: Warlord, Warden, Warmonger, Vortiger. Like to kind of bring the diversity, if you will, back into the game as far as who you may run into. Because me personally, when I play games like this, I play the characters that I like. I don't actually care what their moveset is, unless their moveset is just really bad. Like, when this game first got announced, when I saw the trailer, Orochi was instantly my main. I didn't even know how he played yet, but he was my main. When I got the closed beta or alpha, whatever you want to call it, or whatever what it was called, he was my main. When the second one came out, he was my main. The entire lifespan of this game, Orochi has been my main. He's the character I play with the most. I don't care how viable or unviable he is my main. The only way that they could make Orochi not my main is if they came out with another character that was a basic samurai, kind of how he is, but just with a different moveset, kind of like what they did with Warden and Warmonger. How Warmonger is kind of like Warden, but not Warden. That's the only way that Orochi would not be my main. They came out with him and he had just a katana, or he had two katanas, or he had a katana and a wakizashi. It's like, that's the only way. And his armor would have to be cool as shit. But that's how I play games. But it's like, it seems like the longer the game goes on, the more everybody just wants to play with the easy win characters. Everybody's rolling everything. Everybody's guard break option selecting everything. And it's making the game lame, if I'm being honest. Like, guard break option selecting everything, rolling every mix-up, playing with the same 6 characters. Things like this, in my opinion, will eventually end up being the death of For Honor, because For Honor has been going pretty decent for a while now. And I mean, I love this game. I played this game it's the first game I played for this long in a really long time. And to be fair to the Ubisoft devs, 7 characters in the testing ground, it does seem like they're trying to get the game into a point where it's, solid. Everything's good. I mean, obviously they had characters in the testing ground that they didn't do enough for, in my opinion, like Berserker. They had characters in the testing ground where I think they missed the mark a little bit, like what's my nigga's name? Aramusha. So, I mean, did they miss the mark and not do enough on some characters? Yes. But it does seem like they are trying and they are acknowledging that they need to get these characters in a better place in general. So I don't want to act like they're just ignoring things, because that wouldn't be fair. I'm hoping that the next testing grounds is going to have characters like obviously Shinobi, Lawbringer, Orochi. Hopefully they make good changes to Aramusha and he doesn't need to go back. I would even be cool with them bringing Berserker back and giving him a little bit more, something that actually, matters a bit more to his kit. Characters like the monk, Shaolin, because I think he needs help, in my opinion. Maybe even Nuxia, but if you play a really good Nuxia, or if you play a really good anybody, honestly, that you could be in a lot of fucking trouble. So, yeah, but that's just my 2 cents on the subject. I would love to hear what everybody else thinks about it. I know there are going to be a good amount of people that may not even comment on the video, may not even see the video, but For Honor community in general that would disagree definitely with the idea of Warden going back to not being able to feint his level 3. I'm hoping that I get some people who disagree with that, not just because they play with the character or because they play with the character that has that type of mechanic and they want that character to, have an advantage over everybody. But let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to be doing some more videos on what I think should be done to certain characters as usual. I'm going to, actually start uploading again because I haven't done it for like the last 3 weeks. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And I will see y'all in the next one. Indeed.